You can find this course on schooldesign.net. Join on Facebook website and group.
So in this part we are going to work with the living room. Before that we need to hide the roof. We can also hide the toilet if you want, and we will start with the step 1 scene. So in the step 1 scene we need to be sure that all the models are with high detail, and after that we can go to the step 2 camera, and we need to place the camera in the correct position, all the steps as we made before. So camera with this position, something about 1600 millimeters high. Let's change the render output to landscape this time, because landscape will be I think that will be the best solution for this view. What is more, I need to move back camera, of course, with the walk function. I would like to also see this TV screen, and now we can turn on the roof. We need to add the camera to the scene to be sure that it will be locked, and now we can move forward to the step 3 light. So if we talk about the lights, we need to remember that in this room we have the huge windows, so we will get a lot of lights, and this is why we need to reduce the doom light to 1.2. Also, we need to find some interesting sun direction with the nice looking shadows, so we need to tweak horizontal angle together with the vertical. I think that those one will fit the best. Color mode, yes, we need to change to override to get nice results, and the color, be sure that it's completely white. Of course, the size multiplier we need to also change, and here I will put quite high value, something about 200. The sky model, let's we change it to clear, and turbodities we need to set to 3. So now we need to make some render tests. So in the engine we change it to CUDA. Size I will reduce it, and I will put the material override and engine as a CUDA, because I need to have very quickly results. Of course the progressive, and let's restart, and this is what we get, the blank screen. This is because in this room we have glasses in the window. Mostly where windows are really small, I don't add the material for the glass. I don't even any geometric. But with the huge area like this room, we need to add the glass. And of course, the problem is that first we need to apply the material to the glass. So I will select the glass, and the most important is can be overridden. We need to disable these options, because during the material override, if we want to make a test, the sun must go through the light, so it is obvious that we need to material for them. Okay, so as a glass I will select those one from the asset editor, the glass window neutral. I will edit. We also need to select the rest of the glass and apply the same material. So apply to selection, and right now we can again try to make the test render. And what we have is a nice looking render. So as you can see, light seems to be okay.
I have too much free area on the right side, so we can fix it, for example, with moving the table, and maybe I will also move back camera. Well, too much. Okay, something like this. Now we can change the position for this table. And what I also notice is that these huge shelves on the wall, it's not touching the roof. So I would like to fix it in a few steps. So I will select the shelves and move it up. And now it should be look perfect. And now we have step 4, materials. Materials are very time consuming, so mostly I will apply it by myself. All of them are used with the same method as in the previous classes. As you can see, I just only added some elements like books on both area, the picture, and some plant. I also removed the door from the kitchen because I don't need them right now on the rendering. Only be sure that when you apply any materials on a bed, check only if the dimension is correct, because this is very bended material, so you need to be sure about this. What is more, most of the materials are from the assets library. And if we talk about the material for the shelves, because shelves, as you can see, is very huge, it is good to add some texture for a dirt, because we would like to add some imperfection for our renders, because in normal life everything is imperfection. So in the reflection color, I just added the dirt, so this is texture something like this, and thanks to that you will get look that shelves is not comes just from the production, but it was used before that. Always remember to add such a texture, for example, to huge area like floor, roof, or walls, for example, because you must avoid situation that everything looks just perfect. Okay, so right now we are ready to go to the next step to render setup. So in this step we mostly work on the render quality, so I added crypto matte and light mix, and in the settings I switched to CPU. I turn off the interactive and progressive. Quality is set to high. Image render output size with a aspect ratio 5:4. The exposure is to set to 10.5, and I think that this will be perfect. So this will give us following settings for ISO, f number, and shutter speed. What is more, in the global illumination, brute force and light kit, of course, and subdivs I changed to 1500. This quality should be enough. The noiser, of course, V-Ray denoisers with default preset. And we are ready to go to the step 6, final render. In this step, very quickly, we go to the render output and we set decent value. I will not print this, so I don't need to have 300 dpi, so the standard aspect ratio 5:4 with 1350 to 1080 should be okay. And now we are after render, and we can go to the step 7, post-production, and we start with the color clamping. In the post-production, in the exposure, I changed some value. I reduced the highlight burn. In the curve, I also changed a little bit the curve. This is because as in the classes before, I would like to increase some contrast. And in the source light mix, I only changed the Doom light to 1.5. And this is how our render looks right now. I think that it is quite nice and clean. So I hope that right now you will be able do it the same rendering by themselves with all the things that you learned before.